After the first day in Budapest, where we visited the Central Market, the Jewish Quarter and the Opera House, and also tasted a very typical dish and dined in a highly recommended French-Italian restaurant, today we have ahead another day full of activities to get to know a little better this wonderful city. We have slept very well in the hotel. Our hotel is the Vision Hotel Budapest, and we are going to discover the spa and fitness area before going to breakfast. Breakfast is in the restaurant of the hotel, which is a Spanish tapas restaurant. The breakfast is quite complete, with a variety of both sweet and savory options, and it is at the street level, so there are views of the Danube River. The atmosphere is pleasant, although the space is small, so you may not be able to sit down if you arrive at a time when all the tables are full. One of the things I like most about this breakfast is the pancake machine, which makes pancakes instantly, so you can eat them freshly made. In the morning, we have a tour through the center of Budapest, visiting some of the most relevant buildings and monuments. But first, we will take a walk and enjoy the wonderful weather we have today. Budapest is the composition of two cities, Buda and Pest, which were united in a single city in 1873 together with the Buda, and became the second in importance of the Austro-Hungarian Empire after Vienna. Today, the two cities are connected by several bridges, and although they are the same city, they are different from each other. Buda has hills and forests, and there you can visit Buda Castle and the Royal Palace. Pest is flat, and it is the largest and most populated area of Budapest, and it is here where there is more urban life. One of the most famous monuments of the Pest area is the Hungarian Parliament. The Budapest Metro is the second oldest subway metro system in the world. It represented an engineering milestone for the time, because it had electric lighting in the stations and cars and an overhead cable structure. Its historic Line 1 was the first electric subway line on the European continent. It was inaugurated on May 2, 1896, and was declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 2002. We are on our way to see St. Stephen's Basilica, which is one of the largest and most important churches in Hungary. It is one of the tallest buildings in the city, measuring 96 meters, and it is the same height as the Parliament, because when it was built with the idea that the political power should be at the same height as the religious power. Construction of the Basilica began in 1851 and took 54 years to complete. This was because during its construction, the newly built dome collapsed. This required that they had to demolish the parts they had already built to start from scratch. Although it was originally to be called Saint Leopold after the patron saint of Austria, it was finally named after the patron saint and first king of Hungary, Saint Stephen, who was the one who established Christianity in the kingdom. Inside the Basilica, we can find more than 50 types of marble, predominantly in red, white and black colors. On the main altar is the image of Saint Stephen sculpted in Carrara marble. To place it there, permission had to be requested from the Vatican, since that place normally corresponds to Jesus Christ. Behind the sculpture there are bronze reliefs and mosaics illustrating passages from the life of the king. One of the greatest attractions of this basilica is that it preserved the most important relic of Hungarian Christianity, which is the Holy Dexter, the mummified hand of King Stephen I. It is possible to ascend to the dome from where you can enjoy a magnificent 360-degree view over Budapest. You can go up by elevator or by the 364 steps. One of its towers houses the heaviest and largest bell in Hungary, over 9,000 kilos. It is a replica of the previous one, which was cast during World War II. It is usually used only twice a year, on August 20th, which is the date on which the church was consecrated, and on December 31st. The memorial to the victims of the German occupation is not without controversy. It was built in the memory of the German invasion of Hungary. The monument features a stone statue of the Archangel Gabriel, Hungary's national symbol, being attacked by an eagle, with its talons outstretched, representing the Nazi invasion and occupation of Hungary in March 1944. The Jewish community denies this interpretation that Hungary was a victim of the Nazism. In the past, it has already been recognized by the authorities, and for what they have asked for forgiveness, that during the Second World War the Hungarian government and thousands of citizens collaborated actively in the deportation of about 450,000 Hungarian Jews to extermination camps. We continue walking towards what is surely the best known building in Budapest, the Parliament. It is located on the banks of the Danube River on the west side. It was built between 1885 and 1904 and bears some resemblance to Westminster. It is the third largest parliament in the world after Romania and Argentina. It is the largest building in Hungary, with 691 rooms. This is one of the most recommended visits in Budapest. We are not going to have time this time, but we write it down for the next time we come. At night, it is usually illuminated, so it is advisable to see it from the other side of the river or from one of the cruises that are organized at night. The shoe monument on the banks of the Danube River is a memorial to the victims of the Holocaust in Budapest. There are 60 pairs of cast iron shoes that pay tribute to the used women, men and children who were tied in groups and forced to take off their shoes, and then one of them was shot and thrown into the river to drown in the icy waters. Shoes at that time were a value commodity, so after the massacre, they collected them so they could sell them or use them themselves. We are crossing the Chain Bridge, which is the oldest bridge linking Buda and Pest. It was the first bridge to cross the Danube River in Hungary and can be crossed either on foot or by car. The lions that welcome you guard the bridge at both ends. Legend has it that these lions are the guardians of Hungary and will come to life when the country is threatened. Before going up to the castle, we will have lunch in this restaurant. The atmosphere is nice and cozy, and the waiter is very attentive and friendly. The food is normal, but not outstanding. Before leaving, I ordered a shot of their famous Palinka liqueur to taste it. It is usually made from the fermentation of plums, although it is usually made with other fruits as well. It is a strong liqueur, with an alcohol content between 40 and 70%. This liqueur is not bad, although I have to say that we were charged around €7 for the shot, a bit expensive. For dessert, we will finally try the chimney cake, a Hungarian sweet that consists of a dough that is rolled around a wooden cylinder, sprinkled with sugar and cooked in electric rotary ovens. After cooking, the dough is coated with the topping of your choice. It can be, for example, sugar, cinnamon, almonds or walnuts, and can even be filled with ice cream or Nutella. We are going to try a classic, sugar and cinnamon. We had our doubts about this sweet since we have heard everything about it, but we like it very much. And with our bellies full and happy, we are going to walk around Buda Castle, one of the most recognized icons of the city. It can be reached by funicular, bus or walking. We have walked up as we didn't see that it was possible to buy a one-way ticket for the streetcar, and we planned to walk down. The castle is at the top of Buda Hill, but it takes only about 10 minutes to get there. Buda Castle is also known as the Royal Palace, as it was formerly the residence of the kings of Hungary. Today it houses the Stationery Library, the Hungarian National Gallery, and the Budapest History Museum. Buda Castle has witnessed important historical events, from invasions and conquests to periods of splendor and reconstruction. Its architectural evolution reflects the different historical periods and styles that have influenced its present form. Today, it is an important symbol of Budapest and a popular tourist destination. And offers wonderful panoramic views of the city. We start our tour at the Fisherman's Bastion, from where we have magnificent views of the city. Here there are several cafes where you can have a quiet drink while enjoying these views. This area owes its name to the medieval brotherhood of fishermen who were in charge of defending this section of the city wall. This is one of the areas of the castle where there are usually more visitors. We will tour the rest of the complex to escape a little of the influx of people and discover new things. The whole complex is composed of cobbled streets with different stores selling traditional products, restaurants and houses. One of the most striking sights is the Church of Maria Magdalena. Currently, only the ruins of its facade and tower are preserved. The church has had an interesting trajectory. The church was built in 1247. When Buda came under Turkish rule, it was the only Catholic church in the castle. In 1603, the church was converted in a mosque, and during World War II, most of the church was completely destroyed. The castle has suffered different attacks over the years. The last one was during the World War II siege of Budapest, when Buda Castle was the last Nazi stronghold in the city until the defeat at the hands of the Red Army. After the Battle of Buda, the castle ended in ruins. Finally, the subsequent Hungarian communist government rebuilt the castle, removing references to the previous monarchs and transforming spaces in exhibition halls, to which moved the Hungarian National Gallery or the Museum of History of Budapest. Budapest has a lot to offer. In these 2 days we have been able to see a part of it, but we have other things to visit in our future trip to the city.